Is that also, sorry, quick announcement about Idul Fitri. Let me start with Idul Fitri first. We will have Salatul Idul Fitri here in our masjid. The date is yet to be determined. We are following ICS announcement. So we will be Salah outside for the brothers if it's not raining, and the masjid will be for sister and the children. The takbirah will be 7:30, and inshallah the prayer will be 8 o'clock. Right? So we will be over here. So please come early because you can see we're quite limited. We really encourage everybody to carpool each other, inshallah, whatever you can. The other one I'd like to mention is that please do not underestimate water. During the starting of the Ramadan, we have Ramadan school where children between 8 and 12, you know, 8 or 4.
Did you dare me to stop it? Bro, look behind you.
4 years old to 12
Did you
years
hear me
old,
stop it?
we give them some kind of piggy bank. And they put in the quarter, the penny, whatever they can find somewhere around the house within this 1 month. And today, all of them, total, we're counting for $800 for all this quarter and penny, inshallah. The Islam will have all the parents who encourage their children to make a saving, and all of this fund will go toward all of such work as well, inshallah. The Islam will have. The other one was one brother, Jazakumullah brother, who got initiated today that, you know, maybe walk around with the box, you know, while people are having dinner, or maybe they have pocket change, they, you know, stuck it in their pocket, maybe they like to drink from masjid. That law tonight is $600 altogether as well, 600 plus. Jazakumullah khair. You know, very small amount like that, you can go a long ways if we all do it together, inshallah. I'm not going to. Oh, for those of you who would like to make a donation and would like to receive the receipt for that one, right? Please see the brother in the back. But for those of you who doesn't need the receipt, you know, you can just give the money and you're fine. But if you make a donation using the credit card, it will be automatically go to your email box. So you should be able to see right away, inshallah. I want to know right off the bat. I don't remember. Oh, we don't need a volunteer to help us to remove the barrier between sister and so on. My guy tonight? Baik, we're going to remove it now? Maybe after sister finishes so on. Alright, Jazakumullah khair. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. This is something that is very important. I really enjoy the recitation from our Imam during the Ramadan. You know, for some of you who like to show appreciation to our Imam, please see me directly, inshallah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Question today? Do you have time? No. She said we don't have time. We'll do that.
So, how are you? Let me get water. Alhamdulillah.
Hi. I know, still the same. The only thing is, no, three by three. I have good biscuits, so I have the energy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Iya makanya. Ya. Mana?
Yeah.
Ya.
السلام عليكم. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen that we got to this point of the month of Ramadan. And mashallah, this Park Lot project is coming really nicely. This is surprising numbers. We were not expecting this in the beginning of the month of Ramadan. We said if we collect during the month of Ramadan at least 30,000, then we'll be looking at 170,000 to meet our target. But look at this, since last night, we got close to $40,000 in added, so we at $118,000 now collected. And mashallah, you will see this slide, the brothers are updating these numbers as we go through. Our goal is to have 200,000. The whole project is going to cost about 500,000 to do the parking lot, including the drain. This is a total parking lot cost. And initially we started with $300,000 that domestic already had collected prior and have. So we were $200,000 short. And we already almost 119,000 already collected. So we're looking at now $81,000 inshallah. I don't think this is a big target for us to meet. Inshallah, we'll meet this target and we get this project rolling. And inshallah, we'll see this spark a lot. This masjid, alhamdulillah, Fadlullah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in Houston we have built so many masajid. And on the back of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, these masajid, you know, there's people go and pray there. And it's sadaqah jariyah. Now, we go back 30 years ago, a lot of the people who back then participated in building this masajid, a lot of them are not with us anymore. They already passed away. But they left a masjid behind them. And this is so important because imagine 30 years ago, the child who was born then, he's already 30 years old. He's married and have children. So when building this masjid, it's not really for our enjoyment, even though we are using it now, but we are building something for our future, the future of our children and their children. It is so important. I remember one brother who always liked to donate, but he didn't want to appear. He always hid his donation. So he will come to me. And he said, I will donate this amount, but whatever you do, you just don't disclose who gave the money. And he donated so generously. He donated to Masjid al-Taqwa, and alhamdulillah, that masjid was built. And he donated to Madrasa Islamiyya, and alhamdulillah, that masjid was built. And he donated to Masjid Hamza, and alhamdulillah, that masjid was built. And he donated to Masjid al-Sabirin, and alhamdulillah, that masjid was built. And he donated to Masjid Maryam, and alhamdulillah, that masjid was built. 5 masajid that he put money in. He didn't stop there. In the month of Ramadan, he will come with a list of families. And he will say that I will support these families during the month of Ramadan. And again, they didn't know who was supporting them. So, this man is not with us anymore. He asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to fill his account with the good deeds that he did in his hayat. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, hadith sahih, this hadith muttafaq alayh, said that every day, in every sabah, in the morning, there's 2 angels that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allowed to descend on earth. And they will do dua. And they will say, Allahumma ta'ti muqtan kharafa. Oh Allah, give the person who does infaq on everything, not just on masajid, infaq on his family, his children, in the ways of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, sadaqat, helping others. They do dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to recompense him, not in money, in any way. It could be in his health, in his children, put in barakah in his life. That compensation as a result of his sadaqah. And then the second dua, Allahumma a'ti mumsikin talaf. That those who don't want to spend, just destroy their work because it's not benefiting them. And the result of the money they keep, it's not going to benefit them or their family or anybody else. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tonight to give us wisdom to complete this project and meet our target. One story I remember, when we had plans to build Masjid Hamza 20 years ago. We started in 1999, exactly 20 years ago. And we found that piece of land that we wanted to purchase to build the masjid on. And we only had $5,000 in that account of the masjid. We used to have a musalla in a shopping center. And the $5,000, they were not extra money. It was an operation money. From that $5,000, you have to pay rent and light. So actually, it was the operation money of the musalla. But because the number of the people increased in that musalla, we started with a small musalla, was almost 20 feet by 60 or 70 feet. And then that fit people no more, so we had to expand and pay more rent. We expanded. And then that got filled in no time. So that's what led us to think, okay, well, let's try to find a piece of land, build a masjid, and resolve this problem for once and all. And that's where we found a piece of land, and we wanted to purchase that. So we did fundraising. We talked about it. We went and we put a contract on the piece of land, and we gave the seller the $5,000, non-refundable. If he gave us 3 months and we cannot close in 3 months, he can just keep the $5,000, no condition there. So we said, hopefully in 3 months we can collect the money. So we did a fundraiser in Masjid al-Taqwa. And those brothers who participated in the fundraise, they worked so hard on it. And that day, it was supposedly between Maghrib and Isha, nobody came. So we worked so hard, raised the fundraise, we even got food for dinner, and then nobody came. Just the food, and the food arrived late anyway, and the people and the organizers. But at the same time, there were children in the masjid. They were learning Quran with Sheikh Sayyid, reciting Quran. So their parents naturally, they come to the Maghrib, and then the normal crowd that comes for the Maghrib, they were attending. So we invited everybody. The person who was supposed to do the fundraise for us, when he seen that the masjid is empty, he looked at me, he said, what should I do? Are we canceling? We just, I said, no, we're not going to cancel nothing, because why cancel? We're not doing it to satisfy our egos. Brothers, we're doing this to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We're building this masjid, this parking lot, inshallah, to serve those who come to the prayers, and only to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We're not pleasing our egos. So I said, we are hoping for the work that we already done that day, for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us reward for that. Whether people showed up or not, at least we who did the work, we did what we're supposed to do. So I said, just, brother, go ahead and pretend that there is people. Whoever, you have 10 people in front of you, that's fine. Just pretend, do what you're supposed to do, we'll do. We just go through our night like we're supposed to. And he started, he went full blown fundraising to an empty masjid with 10 people. And then we had some cards like this. The brothers here in the back, they have the pledge cards. So we have even fancier cards than this one. And we distributed, and kids, they started grabbing these cards. And then some of the cards started to come back. Naturally, there's some people, they did give some. But then one card I got back, and that was very amazing. That card came from one of the little kids. This is 20 years ago, and I think he was 6, so he's probably 26. I think he's the same age as our imam. Now, what that kid did, he did something very amazing. He wrote, he didn't donate nothing, he didn't have money. Okay, but he wound up writing a note on the card. Even though he misspelled half of it, but it made sense and it was readable. And he wrote, he said, I am a little boy and I have no money and I cannot help you. That's the first sentence. Say, I'm a little boy, I have no money and I cannot help you. So I asked my dad to give me money, and my dad said, I have no money. So the dad also had no money. So he wrote, he said, then I asked my dad, then what can I do to help? His dad said, just say dua for them. So that kid, he actually wrote the dua on the card. That night we collected $150,000. How, I have no idea. But that night when we left with $150,000. Couple of the people who were sitting there, they donated such a large amount of money, and I said, because of that, the birth of the dua of the little boy, now we have masjid called Hamza. And that masjid, you know how busy it is and how many Muslims serve in this city. So this is only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives these people wisdom to spend the money in ways that pleases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The gentleman I told you about early on, one time I asked him, because he was spending generously, and I wanted to know what drives him to spend, because we have difficulty sometimes when we ask people of donation, we have difficulty to get these funds. So I asked him, what really drives you? he tells me one thing, or he told me a couple of things actually. He said, when I came to this country, when I left that airport, I had in my pocket only $100. He said, if I spend all of my money to my last $100, I break even. So I have nothing to lose. That's the first thing he said. And then he said, when my mother delivered me, I was naked. If I leave this life naked, then I'm even. I have nothing to lose. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to shower him with mercy for everything that he done for us. Brothers, we are in need of $75,000 to complete our project. Alhamdulillah, like I said, it's not a big amount, but this is, again, some sadaqah jariyah that you leave, not just for you, also for your children, and inshallah, if you also do it on behalf of your parents and your loved ones that passed away, this is a great opportunity to participate. Alhamdulillah, we have a great masjid. Stephen, is there a Stephen? Is there a child? Or his son, the teenager? There's a 7-year-old son, Stephen. Is he with us here in the masjid? Is he in the back with the ladies? His parents looking for him. Stephen, what's the last name? If there's a couple of guys can help with the brother looking for this little boy, we'll appreciate it. So, brothers, inshallah, we continue that. We only looking now for $75,000. It's not too much money, and I know we can do it. And this is an opportunity. Like I said, 30 years ago, a lot of those people who participated in building the masajid around here. And you see how crowded this area. Alhamdulillah, all of our masajid are filled. So those people, a lot of them, they're not with us anymore. What have they lost? Nothing. But what have they gained? A lot. What have they gained? A lot. Alhamdulillah, this masjid, today we started a da'wah with non-Muslims. So this masjid has been offering a lot of programs. Even though it's a small masjid, but the activities in this masjid is unbelievable. We have a lot of activities. This masjid is offering a lot of activities, and it's busy. There's no day goes by that this masjid does not do a sort of activity to benefit us and benefit our community around us. So we ask for your help, inshallah, to meet our goal. Alhamdulillah, I see people are continue donating, and we'll see. Brothers, do your best when it comes to spending in the ways of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the verses that he talked about spending in the ways, he talks about the hikmah, the wisdom of seeing the benefit of spending your money in ways to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, يُؤْتِ الْحِكْمَةَ مَنْ يَشَاءُ وَمَنْ يُؤْتَ الْحِكْمَةَ فَقَدْ أُوتِيَ خَيْرًا كَثِيرًا. That this hikmah of spending the money in the ways that pleases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's a blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He given it to those who spend their money. And those who spend their money in ways to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the benefits they reap from this spending is unmatched out of the bounty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So inshallah we'll start our fundraiser. We have this pledge card. Brothers, if you like to pledge anything, just raise your hand. We have brothers that will come and give you the card, and you just write your pledge on it. And inshallah, we'll see this number in very short time, meeting our goal, and we get our project started as soon as we finish with the Eid prayer. I mean, the plan is to hit the ground running immediately after the Eid prayer to start putting this barakallah together, inshallah. So who can, as you see, the way we put it by parking spot. And so far we sold 66 parking. So we have covered the cost of 66 parking lot. And this is inshallah will update as we are talking. We are looking at 74,000. We're estimating each parking spot to cost about roughly $2,000. So those parking spots left almost 40 of them. So roughly the cost of each parking spot will be $2,000. Alhamdulillah, we met 63% of our target. It's already been met. We already have almost $126,000 collected as of now. Here's the brother, he gave me a number. If you want to make donation through text, I guess, send your pledge through text. There is a number. It's 248-819-0089. And I will repeat this number shortly, inshallah. It's 248-819-0089 if you rather send your donation by text. So, brothers, if you have, or if you like to donate and you like to have a pledge card, just raise your hand, and inshallah, one of the brothers in the back, he will come. Or you can walk to the back table. We have 4 brothers back there working that table, and they can accept your donation, inshallah. Again, this is very important to me because you see our parking lot, in the beginning of the month of Ramadan, we had a lot of rain. And then also the problem continues and repeats itself every Friday. Every Friday we have more cars that our current parking lot can accommodate. In such a rainy day, there's a lot of cars get stuck in the mud. So to solve the problem of the parking lot and the drainage problem, we decided to go through the project and do the parking lot. Initially, we were thinking to do a temporary parking lot. Spend about $50,000 and do a parking lot in the back that with a crushed concrete that might accommodate another 25, 30 cars. But thinking about that project, it was not feasible because you spend $50,000
ngasihkan cek ke situ.
and it's not part of the master plan and that money will be wasted. So we decided to go ahead with a parking lot that's in the master plan that can serve the masjid and the people who come to the masjid better. Then the money will be invested for one time and we don't have to revisit this issue again. It'll be part of the project, of the master plan project that's done, and we don't have to come back to it again. So again, if you need the number for the text message, if you want to send donation by text message, it's 248-819-0089. So again, brother, inshallah, if anybody who can help us with a couple of these parking lots, it's on an average $4,000. Anyone can help us with a couple of parking lots. Alhamdulillah, there's a brother, Abu Yazin. Jazakallah khair, brother. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, inshallah, put this in your mizan of hasanat. Jazakallah khair. We have, brother, one story of a great companion of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Today, incidentally, during the iftar, one of the brothers, he mentioned that story. Remind me, this companion is named Suhaib bin Sinan Arumi, famous companion of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He's one of those companions who used to be friends with the Prophet before he even became a messenger. Is one of his, if you will, best friends in Mecca. Suhaib, in addition of accepting Islam, he declared his Islam publicly from day one. And he was one of those people who was subjected to torture by the Meccans. And then when time came to migrate to Medina, he migrated with Ali bin Abi Talib radiallahu anhu. So they decided to meet outside Mecca. And his way to meet Ali, the Meccans followed him. there were over 40 people. They followed him outside Mecca to return to Mecca. And when he seen these people following him, Suhaib, he used to be very accurate in his bow and arrow skills. And he never missed. And he had about 40 arrows on him. So he got all of his arrows and he turned around and told these people, he said, let's make a deal. We can either fight, and I use my 40 arrows, and you know who I am. So I can at least kill 40 of you. And he said, when my arrows finished, then I will get my sword and I keep fighting until I'll die. This is option one. Option two, I will give you exactly where the place I was living, and I tell you exactly where my money is, and you just go take that money and let me go. Let me go. He prayed to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So they trusted him and they accepted that offer. So he gave up everything. Everything that he owns in Mecca, he gave it up. And he traveled to Medina. By the time he received the Medina, the Prophet ﷺ was so happy and he greeted him. His kunya was Abu Yahya. The Prophet ﷺ always called him Abu Yahya. And he said, Abu Yahya Rabuh al-Bayt. Why? Because at that time revelation from the Quran came about this man Suhaib. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَشْرِي نَفْسَهُ ابْتِغَاءَ مَرْضَاتِ اللَّهِ وَاللَّهُ رَءُوفٌ بِالْعِبَادِ. That some people, they will sell themselves just to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is basically what Suhaib radiallahu anhu did. He gave up everything. But did he lose anything? He did not lose nothing. Any of the companions who even put their life on line, did they lose anything? Nothing. In less than 10 years, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put this whole hayat al-dunya under their feet. And they ruled this hayat al-dunya. This is because of their sincerity and the way they reacted and they engaged the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So again, did Suhaib lose anything? Nothing. Did he get?